Okay, this is Aaron with Exalted Lamb 1, and I have a little shorter video for you. And I wanted to put this out because I want to really show with one example how this whole system that I found over time works. And it really predicts the attack days that are coming, this whole timeline of mine, and also with the birth and death of these celebrities. They basically tell you the death and the birth date and all the things about them. So their name and I mean all kinds of stuff. So I want to get into that with you and also give you a slight preview of my next big video about Trumple. So I just want to get this out here right away. So again, I am the Exalted Lamb on YouTube, the Exalted Lamb 1 on YouTube, but Exalted Lamb 1 without the on Telegram. So, and my motto is having no part in the worthless deeds of darkness, but instead exposing them. Ephesians 5:11. I'm not, all kinds of people have claimed all kinds of things about what I say. Oh, you're date setting, or you're prophesying. No, I'm not. I'm guessing about when things might happen. I've never prophesied any of that stuff. I'm always guessing. Anybody who's ever watched my videos, I'm only exposing the darkness. I'm only showing you what they do with their symbolisms, their gematria, all this kind of stuff. That's my purpose. And the Lord himself, Jesus, has given me this purpose on YouTube. But it's going to be, by the time I believe with this timeline, the faithful leave. I've been warning for 6 years and 6 days. And he told me, he was saying that that's the time that you've warned the world, the number of the world. And I'm just like, wow, just totally blown away when he's sharing this with me recently. Because it'll literally be when the transformation of the faithful happened, I'll be doing this exactly 6 years, exactly. And I'm just like, what? Huh? And then 6 days later from that, then the faithful will be removed from the earth. And I'm part of that, the 144,000. So anyway, I know for most religious people, they're like, what? 144,000? They don't get it. If you want to get it, look in my description box below. You'll see information about the 144,000. You also see about the innocent, and also about the multiple raptures and how it's all scriptural. And you can disagree all you want. I've been studying the Word for over 33 years and doing biblical research and things. Just so much research and things, and how to study the Bible, a lot of people don't know there are figures of speech in the Bible, there are idioms, there are Orientalisms, there are things that were intended in the original God-breathed word that have been changed and altered by man, by intention or omission, or things that they did not understand. I mean, all kinds of stuff. So over the years, I've kind of understood that, and then understood I must follow this guy named Jesus, who is the way to God. And I was like, okay, let's follow this guy. And then he just started sharing with me, oh, the world's about to end soon. And I thought it would be real soon, but it's been 9 years later. Okay, when he first warned me. But from the Revelation 12 sign, it looks like, if I'm right, it's going to be 7 prophetic months. Wow, I can't even speak. Let me say that again. Rewind that. 6 prophetic years, okay, from the Revelation 12 sign, which gets you to August 16th, 2024, and then my timeline goes right up to August 15th, the 1st or the 15th, or the pre-day is January 31st. Anyway, you can see my whole timeline in the pinned to the top of comments in this video and my previous video. You can see all the events. I'm going to save the extra Trumple stuff for my next video as far as adding it to the timelines, things I'm going to predict. I'm going to predict some stuff before the timeline on this with Trumple. We'll get into that here soon, though. But, okay, I want to get into a few things, and the people that don't understand or haven't watched my videos about the rule of Kallel. The Kabbalistic rule of Kallel states that one digit can be added to or subtracted from the gematria value of a word without affecting its value. This seems to modern ears to be a cheat. However, the Kabbalists explain the rule by pointing out that for them, one is not a number. The monad symbolized the divinity, and he could come and go, or could come and go as he pleased, adding nothing and taking nothing away. So I don't add a one usually, because it's, to me, that feels like a cheat. But taking one away is very simple, very easy. It makes sense, even though it, you know, gives you the option to do either or. And then the days of these attacks, they're 2 days. So if you add one, you're adding a day to for the next day that is one of the 2 days. Or you're taking one away, you're taking one away from the other day. So I don't know if that makes sense, but that's how this works, because the whole world's on a 24-hour process. You'll have something in one part of the world, like where I'm at, and then the other part of the world, like Australia, it'll be the next day. You know, where my brother Paul is. Shout out, brother. Anyway, so 0 is O, okay, and why is that? 0 is hiding O. I've shared this many times in the past on my videos. 0 is, a lot of times people say O when they should say 0. For example, what is that Bond character? James Bond. Well, yes, of course. Well, yes, 007. 007, okay, why is that 007? He is the 7th of that group, okay, of these with the license to kill. There's 001, 002, 003, all the way to 007, but they call him 007 because it's easier. You say 00 instead of saying 00 or even 00, say 00, and so whatever, but the whole reason for that is programming you to that 0 is O, or when you go to English 101 or whatever, or room 101 or whatever, you should say 101 because that's what it is. You're saying 1, it's not an O, but it really is. It's hiding the O. Hopefully that makes sense. If you think about it, also 101 is 10 is 15, like I'm showing you 15, and then 1. 101 would be 115, 1. You add those up and you get 8. That's August. Hello. Anyway, okay. And then 1 plus 5 is 6. So O is either 15, the 15th letter of the alphabet, or 1 plus 5 is 6. And then 6, I show here in my videos, 6 is hiding 2 plus 4. It could be hiding 3 plus 3. It could be hiding 1 plus 5. It could be, but it's hiding 2 plus 4 in regards to the year. And I'm going to show you that in many situations here. Okay. And then I had to show this from my last video. It's pretty crazy. It's about Gilbert Gottfried saying, "Stay off the Golden Gate Bridge on August 11th or I'll shake you down. Shout out to Clorps." Basically, I mean, that's just the basic, but he says more than that. But anyway, he posted that video originally on Cameo, and then it went into Instagram, went through Instagram. Someone put it on Instagram, and it got millions and millions of hits and everything like that. Millions of people watched it. And that was, he posted that on 11/7 or the 11th of July in 2019. And then right here, you see here on my video, if you go right into my channel and look at the video, it's 1 hour, 46 minutes, and 34 seconds. That's 1 plus 4 plus 6 is 11, and then 3 plus 4 is 7. 11/7, or 7-Eleven, okay? Like the 7-Elevens, convenience stores, okay? That's not a coincidence either. And then then if you see it from, you're just searching for videos on thumbnails and such, it's off by 1 second. Here, you see that, okay? And it's 1 plus 4 plus 6 is 11. 3 plus 5 is 8. So he says right there, August 11th. August 11th. August 11th. Okay, see, that, there you go. So I literally have both. In my channel, it's off by 1 second. And then out here when people are searching for and seeing thumbnails and things, it's August 11th and 7-Eleven. It's crazy. Okay, and then I want to show this from 4 years ago. I did a video about August. In fact, there's a calendar on The Simpsons here. There's an eagle broom. Yeah, Homer has a broom and tries to swipe at the eagle, which is basically attacking the eagle or attacking America. And then Bart jumps up on here and then with the trash bag gets the eagle and goes over Homer. And that's all gematria. And then August is the month this happens, when he's attacking the eagle. Okay, and then I thought it was in August. It made a lot of sense. And I was really close to the dates and everything, but I didn't realize this here was, and this is so crazy, what the Lord was showing me. He does this, like I said, he did it here. He's showing me this, and then right here, back 4 years ago, August 11th. And then, so that's 5 plus 3 is 8, and then 11. And then we still have that O here, or the 0 is an O. Remember, that's hiding, that's a 15 or a 6, which is 2 plus 4. So August 11th, 24. You just move this one over here, put this over here, backwards, August 11th, 24. Okay, that's how the Lord does this. It's crazy to me. I mean, it's just crazy how he does this stuff. But he does. It's amazing. So little winks to me all the time with different things. I've shared some of those things over the years. They're crazy. So anyway, this is the Ouroboros. I shared this with my last video. They worship this idea of this birth, death, and rebirth all being the same thing, okay? And so you see these things overlap, or in birth will be the death code, and so that really shows up in celebrity. In the celebrities out there, you literally have the death in their birth and their birth and their death. A lot of deaths equals Obama's birth. For example, I give you so many examples of Prince and Elvis and Michael Jackson. I mean, all these different people, and they were like the king of pop and the king of this or the thing of that or the whatever, and they're all referencing the Antichrist, the king of this or the prince of this or that or this. Okay, and they're all some version of the Antichrist. And then when they die, it has to do with, and I could show you that, and maybe again I will at some point in relation to this time in August, but. So in their birth is their death day, and then in that death is the event that's coming, okay, and then that event is death to millions or multiple people, and then that will go into a rebirth. So it's all this process that they believe. So and if you think about it, Stinky BO, as I've shown over 800 solid evidences over the years in my videos, that Stinky BO, the 44th president, Obama, is the Antichrist. His name is Obama. And a suitcase nuke basically went off in Beirut, Lebanon in 2020 on August 4th, his birthday. And I'm going to share more about that. I've shared some about that. And then literally a year before that, exactly a year, and it ended up being on the 5th because it was a 2020 was a leap year. It ended up being the 5th, was still his birthday. A year later, there was kind of a nuke one, similar kind of thing with a ring coming out of it and everything like that. It went off in Russia. And anyway, it's all predictive of him being the god of destruction. Okay, so anyway, let's go here to this headline. I'm going to show you some stuff on just one article here, for example. So we have this headline here: Michelle Obama's mother, Marion Robinson, dies. Okay, and then right here it says died at 86. 86 backwards is it just has to be 68. Barack Obama. Oh well, that's a coincidence, right? That's a little coincidence, huh? Right? Well, then it just happens that Barack Obama also in full reduction and reverse. Lord has showed me in the last probably year and a half that the particular gematria in English gematria, or this is full reduction English, it has everything to do with the reverse, and they work together. So English and reverse, full reduction and reverse, Sumerian and reverse, they work together, okay, to make a date, and even some other details. It's crazy. So right here, this is 3 plus 2 is 5, and then this is 7 plus 6 is 13. Well, then, like I said, they do opposites, backwards, upside down and backwards, and mirroring to be opposite, basically. Okay, so you go backwards on this, and it's 31st of May, 31st of May. And so she died on the 31st of May at 86, backwards. And that just happens to be the 31st of May when she died, and this is backwards, and it just happens to be both have to be him. That's just a massive coincidence. I mean, if you believe in massive coincidence, I don't know what to say to you. And I have more and more and more and more. Okay, so look at this title here. Now, take this title, and I've seen this relationship as well now in the last few months, how English ordinal, even though Sumerian is 6 times the English ordinal, but then how this, being the normal ordinal, is related to the reverse of Sumerian more and more. It's just crazy how it relates. Let me show you an example here. So let's just go backwards. Now we're going to reduce these. We're going to compress these numbers like they do. And I've seen different elites like literally refer to compressing and decompressing numbers. So I'm using their term. I've seen it in videos and different things like that, kind of discreetly. I think a lot of times when they didn't think people were really watching, or maybe they did, but they had to share it. So 3 comes down, and then 9 plus 6 is 15, and then we have 3 plus 7 is 10, and then 8. So you have 10 and then 8, and then the 0 could still be an O, and that's 24. We're not getting to the year right now. We're just getting into the dates here. So now let's go backwards. We have August 1st and May 31st. Okay, it doesn't have to necessarily be 531. It could just be 31 is its own number, and then 5. So instead of being 531, it's backwards 5 and then 31. The way you see it. Otherwise, it would be 513. Then it could be Hopefully that makes sense. I mean, 5, 3, 1, exactly backwards, it'll be 1, 13, and 5. Hopefully that makes sense. It could definitely be 5 and then 31, or 5 and then 31. That is a form of backwards, because 31 is a full number. Anyway, hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully I'm saying it right. So these are also opposites. I'm going to show you how they're opposites, but now I'm going to throw them forward, or forward like that. Now you read them: 531 and 81. Okay, or even 531, the day she died, is also 5 plus 3 is 8, and then 1 is also 8-1. See that? See how that works? How they're shown here is very different looking, but then if you just do this, you're like, oh, okay, that's 8-1. Okay, how are they opposites? Well, right here, 531, the day she was relieved of her life by somebody or multiple people, was 152, the 152nd day of the year, and then this day, August 1st, has 152 days left over. And then we have 214 days left over on this day, and this is the 214th day of the year. See how these are opposites? And that's just a massive coincidence, even though I've said that they work with opposites and, backwards, upside down and backwards, and mirroring and all that kind of stuff. And that's just, this is a massive coincidence. Nothing to see here. And then we're going to somehow find in her name, this was a title to an article, okay? Then this is the first one of the processes in this process that I have that show that this timeline is accurate. My last timeline was accurate because it was exact opposite of this timeline. My timeline of May 18th through June 2nd is exactly turned upside down with an opposite of the days of the year. So May 18th being the 139th day of the year goes all the way over to August being the last. That's the first day. August being the 139th day left over is August 15th. So it switches a complete opposite. So that's why I was showing up. I hope that makes sense. I don't want to get into the whole thing. It was exactly opposite. So because they show opposites and their normal date, throw that out there to confuse people and for programming and stuff. They use both. Okay, so that's why my system worked on my last timeline. When I finally had the system together, and my last timeline, it was really hitting and everything. And that's why, because they show opposites as well. And there's only one more opposites in this year, because they're both 2024. And there's only one more opposite, and that's the opposite of the May/June. We're going just the very end of July into August. And again, that has to do with the days of the year being opposites. So hopefully that makes sense. So Marion Robinson here, her name is 1, and then 6 plus 2 is 8. So 1-8 or 8-1 backwards. Again, backwards. Because it's harder to see things when they're backwards or upside down or mirrored or whatever. And then because it hides it easier. And it's also, you got to do stuff for the letters. You got to compress letters or decompress numbers to get there. So then we have 1 and 2 down here. 9 plus 6 is 15. So backwards we have 5. Exactly backwards we have 5, 3, 2 plus 1 is 5, 3, 1, 8, 1. Or 5, 31, and then 8-1. See that? She died on this day, and it really means that day. So her death is Obama's birth. This is the first day of his birth, of this process of this timeline. 8-1 through 8-15. And he has a few other births in between, and then he has a death in the exact middle. 7th, he dies on the 7th of August, and then is reported on the 8th. If you want to see all this, look at my timeline attached to the top of comments in this video and my last video. I'm not going to include some more recent Trumple things that I'm going to wait till the Trumple video comes out and add those things that will alter it a little bit. I'm not going to put those out until I put out the Trumple video anyway. And I call him Trumple because he's Trumple thin skin. He's the fairy tale creature that spins gold from straw. I mean, he just makes all these things out of nothing, and he promises all this stuff. And he's done some things, but not what people think. And he is a Trojan horse for Christians and a Trojan horse for Christians and conservatives. And I've been proving that in my videos time and time again. I also said years ago that he'd be in Manhattan and die there, and now he's get convicted and all this stuff in Manhattan. And it could be at Mar-a-Lago, it could be anywhere almost, but it's in Manhattan, and he's going to be killed in Trump Tower and all this kind of stuff. He's going to be arrested, or he's going to be jailed and stuff. I'm going to get into all that. It's crazy. At the end of this video, a little bit more. But I'm going to have a big video on that. Anyway, so the first thing is her name, okay? And then her name with her age. I just on the article said 86. But I kept seeing when people would die, it would be their name and then their age right next to it. And then I translated that because I would basically, in articles and things, I would see a bunch of copy, and then I would see a number that they're referring to, and then when I put it in gematria, it wouldn't quite make sense or whatever, and then I would change that number to the rest of it, which is all words. So I'd change this instead of numbers to 86, spelled out 86, and then it would just come together. It was like, wow. So then I decided, oh, hey, let me do that with their death day and their birthday and all this stuff, and if this is going to predict their death and stuff. And it says it is. It's so crazy. And by the way, this is right here. You have a date, but then you have the time, and all this is literally 8/1/24. How is that? Well, watch. We'll just look at this as being 24 right here, and then 2 plus 4 plus 2 plus 2 is 8. Sorry, 1. Oh, wow. Let me do this over. 24. 2 plus 4 plus 2 plus 2 is 10. Take away the 0, then you have 1. And then you have 6. June is 6 and 2. That's 8. And we said 10 was 1 because you take away the 0, and then 24. It's there. You just have to move that, and then it's all there. You move, so you take, like, let's say you take, this is number 42, and you switch it with 2, and you put it over here. Then you literally have 10, 24, or 8, 10, 24, and then just take away the 0, you have 8/1/24. Hopefully that makes sense. I don't know. Anyway, I decided to do that off the cuff here right now. And so we take Marion Robinson, 86. Again, that has to do with the distance between her birth and her death. That's why this is important. And so they program all this. This is all programmed by demons. So this is highly sophisticated intelligence going on here. So again, here it is. Miraculously, wow, this is a massive coincidence that backwards it's 5/31, the day she died, and then the day I'm talking about. 6 plus 2 is 8/1, August 1st. Again, and this keeps on popping up. So that means it works. Otherwise, how would it work? It could not work every single time if it wasn't planned. It's too impossible. There's too many factors in this. Take this name and 86 and equal this. And then I was like, what if I made it years old? Because that's what it is. And then I realized years old was a particular gematria that was like, wow, this is... So I added that to it, and it gave you more information. And I've noticed that if you take phrases, like when I did with the thing with Gilbert Gottfried in my last video, all the different things he says about day off the Golden Gate Bridge and everything, you do it in sections and the whole thing, and they're all the same number. And I'm like, and that takes super intelligence to figure that out. To just do a few words, and it's the same number. The whole thing is the same number. The back section is the same number. Different sections are all the same number. The same exact number, 8/11/2024. Hidden in different ways. Crazy. Okay, so you take this whole thing, and it's going to have 5/31 and 8/1 in it. And how is that possible? Well, watch this. So these are all reduced down to 9. So you could get rid of these anytime you want, any one of these. But right here, so we got 8, 3 plus, we'll do this first. 3 plus 7 is 10, and then 8. So 10 and then 8. Imagine that, 10 and then 8. And then this is 9. Anything you add 9 to stays the same as it relates to this. We're just going to get rid of that. So you have 10, 8. Okay, and then we have 2 plus 3 is 5. 22 plus 2 is 24, plus 7 is 31. 5/31. And then 10/8 or 8/01 backwards. 10/8 or 8/01 backwards. And then 5/31. There goes 5/31. And then either 10/8 or 8/01 backwards. Again, same thing. Hopefully that makes sense. I've just decided not to put all the stuff out there and not take so much time to do it. I would just kind of go with it. Hopefully you get that. And then from the date she died to the date it's intending, one of the dates it's intending is August 1st, May 31st to August 1st. The opposites is 63 days. And Stinky B.O. on August 4th, which is in that timeline, the 4th and 5th are the big days, the first attack day, alien zombie day, all kinds of stuff. That's 63, and he is going to be 63 years old. So again, it refers back, all this stuff refers to, it's all messaging secretly to Stinky B.O., the 44th Prince, anyway, being the Antichrist. So she was born, okay, on July 30th, 1937. In this, like I said, is her death day. Believe it or not, here it is. Ready? Here we go. Oop. 7, bring 7 down, and then 3 down. Then O is 15. Okay, remember it's O is 0, is O, which is 15. 1, 9, 3, 7, bring that all down. Keep going. Then we're going to take, anytime you put these by each other, they can mean, for example, this could be 193 and 7. Or this could be 7,315 and 1,937. Whatever. Once they're by each other, that's the way this rule works with them. They could be anything. So I'm going to switch 315 and make backwards with 7. So 315 and 7 are going to be backwards. Just the full 315, so we're going to put 315 and 7 backwards. And we're going to leave this 1937. Okay, boom. Then with the rule of Clell, I'm just going to take 1 out in this case. I could use it as a day and add a day or take a day away, but I'm just going to show this for example. This is crazy how this works. Well, I'm just going to leave it for now. Now watch. So then we bring this down, bring that down, bring this down. We got rid of this, and we're going to go 7 plus 9 plus 3 plus 7 right here. 7 plus 9 plus 3 plus 7 is what? Is 26. And when you say, now we're going to bring this down. When you say 26, you say 26. Just imagine how you say 26. 20 and 6 is what you're saying. So we brought this down, and this together is 26. Okay, and then remember I said 6 earlier is hiding 2 plus 4. So we have, and then we're just moving this 1 over here a little bit. So it was 31st of May, 2024, and that's what she died. So this is in that. All I did was take 1 out and just move these around a little bit, move that from that a little bit. That's it. It's in there. And it's only off by 1 digit, and that's in the rule of Clell. Take that off. And then I could put the 1 up here, and then, or one after that, it would be 6-1, and that would be her reported death day, because most of the news came out about her death the next day, 6-1. You just add that 1 over here, and then it's that whole date plus 1. I hope that makes sense. But I decided to just take it off. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Okay, so July, and also this whole date spelled out is the numbers. July 30th, 1937. Okay, 3 plus 6 is 9, so I'm going to choose to get rid of this 9 to make it more, because anything you add 9 to stays the same, so I can have this 10 and then add the 9, it would be 19, 1 plus 9 is 10 again. So get rid of this 9, then we have 8, and then 2 plus 4 is 10. See how that works? 8, 10, just like I did earlier, but I didn't show it to you like this. Okay, and then we have 5, and I could literally switch the 5 with 68 and put 5 over here and 68 right here. Let's just say I did. Let's say I put the 5 over here and put 68 over here. So then then once they're all together, I can change it again. So it's 8 plus 6 plus 2. So 8 plus 6 is 14, plus 2 is 16, plus 6 is 22, plus 1 is 23, plus 6 is 29, plus 2 is 31. 531 backwards. 531. I'm just putting this forward. 531 and 801. Again, there it is again. How could that be? If it just doesn't happen one time. The only way all this look how many letters are here. This is crazy. Look how many letters are over here. Look at all these letters, and all these combinations, they're all the exact same numbers. No, it doesn't happen. Sorry. Nope. That is not the case. And then also, she died on 5/31/24. So then we saw this 8 ones. Well, because it was the same year. And then 5 plus 3 is 8. And then bring down the 1. And all this is 24. This is hiding that. And they are opposites of the days of the year. In the days of the year. Okay. And also, and here's another concept. 8-1, which is what 531 is really about. 8-1, 2024, is also hiding 8. Bring down the 1. This 2 comes down and you get rid of the 0, and then this 2 in here in the year becomes the part of the day. So 8-1 2024 ends up being 8-12-24, and that's what's unique about what's another reason why this makes so much sense as a year like 2024 is you could take a 2 off here and it becomes part of the date. So anyway, that's how this works, because we know that 24 is, if I say in year 24, you're going to know it's 2000. It's not 1924, or not 1824. Okay, so this is the birth of Antichrist Obama. This is when lightning falls, the 11th and 12th days. So that is showing that, the first day of the timeline, and then one of the birthdays, which is when Satan's cast out of heaven, Obama's dead, and then he goes into his body, and then that's when he's actually born. Okay, and then from her, there's another way of finding out, proving this. From her to death day of the dates that we're talking about, 8-1 or 8-12. Okay, so we go from her birthday to her death day. Her birthday is August 30th, 1937, to her death day, May 31st, 2024. And that is 8-10. Well, we'll do it this way first. We're going to go 8-1, and then backwards is 20, and then 6 is hiding 2 plus 4. 8-1 or I could switch the 2 and the 0 and make it 20 this way. It doesn't matter. Put 20 backwards. 8, 1, 20, and then 6 is 2 plus 4, 24. Or 8, 10 plus 2 is 12, 8, 12, and then 6 is 2 plus 4, or 24. 8, 1, 20, 24, or 8, 12, 24, like I showed you earlier over here. See how that is? And then also, if we just look at days, her birth to her death, 8, 1 plus 7 plus 1 plus 3 is 12. 8, 12. And that's another coincidence? I don't think so. And it's backwards? I don't think so. Sorry. Again, all this stuff, so many things are backwards. And then I got a clue about these people being, I knew they were a ritual sacrifice, of course, but for years. And I showed this in different ways and how the numbers work so well, and that it could just be random or it could be just natural deaths and all that. And one of my clues at what this was all about and the sacrifice they were doing, it was about being sacrificed to Moloch, okay, is through King Charles. He recently released this on May 14th, a painting of him, okay, and then that, when you do it, again, mirrored, you mirror the two, it's upside down and backwards, and mirrored is Moloch. Right here is the bull Moloch. You can see his nostrils right here, eyes right here, horns right here. His hands become like, now they look like either horn, like a horn, or kind of like a horn. I mean, it's implied there, but it also looks like bony. It looks like skeleton hands. And then his head upside down looks a little bit more like skulls now. So you got death and Moloch. And then also, if you look at Moloch right here, like right in here, it's like a skull, and then right here is like a burning pit, burning area, and then from this there's some being coming out of here and then going up like a phoenix. Hopefully you see that, but it's just crazy. So this has convinced me, the Lord told me this is clearly Moloch. And then Moloch on the west coast, or in the west, is an owl and an iPad goat. Obama's looking up at the owl for a minute when he's doing his little Dr. Evil thing with his finger. He looks up at the owl on the back wall, and that's because it's occultic wisdom, and they sacrifice people. This is a Bohemian Grove in California, and they literally, presidents and stuff come here every year, and they sacrifice people there, which a lot of people don't know, but that happens. And that's a fire right there that they sacrifice. So that represents the fire down here. And if you see the outline of the owl right here, and then the head's up here, there's a head and the outline of the owl, the wings right here, the wings. And then it's also the bull that's in Europe. The Moloch is a bull. Moloch is an owl over here and a bull over there. And you got the pit, the burning pit where they would sacrifice the children and stuff. And there's the pit right there, and that's burning right here. You can see that. Hopefully you can see that. And then to make it a little bit bigger right here, you can see the whole thing with the nostrils and the mouth down here of Moloch right there, just to give you a little bit different perspective. Okay, so then also it shows Darth Vader to me. Like, I literally see Darth Vader kind of distorted. You see the helmet way up here and this little side things, and then there's a kind of triangular shape right here, and there it is right there. And then, by the way, Darth Vader is the gematria for the numbers I've been sharing. I shared that in my last video, one of my last videos with King Charles a couple of videos ago. So that's all in here too. It's just crazy how much stuff's in this stuff. It's amazing. So I just took this idea. Let's just take her name and the sacrifice of Moloch and see what we have. Could it be? Could it be? Yes, it is. Again, this is another way of testing this, that the timeline is correct, and also that how her death day relates to the timeline, starting on August 1st, then also relating to August 12th. Okay, in the timeline. So right here we got 524. Let's say we put this one over here and this one over here. So 524 plus 3 is 7, plus 4 is 31. And then we also have a 0, which can be an O, and the O is 2 plus 4, or 24. So we have 5, 31, 24. And that's when she was sacrificed to Moloch. I mean, come on, people. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm getting insight by the Lord on some of these details, and then I'm filling it in. And if it doesn't get there for you, I can kind of understand it a little bit. But how do you explain all this lining up perfectly on all these things? You can't. Nobody can, and if you understand the numbers and the possibilities and the probabilities of this, you realize it's impossible unless it was planned. If you use your brain and then you think about it a little bit, it has to be planned. There's no way. It's too random. It's too precise to be random. Too precise to be random. Okay? And then right here, next thing. Oh, what you could have guessed this. It's going to be 8, 1, right? Watch this. 1 plus 6 plus 1 is 8. And then we can either do 10 and then 10, you take away the 0, and then you get back to 1. See, about 9. Or just get rid of the 9. You have 1 plus 6 plus 1 is 8, and then 1. 8, 1. And then remember, then we have an O. And 0 is an O, and that's 2 plus 4, 24. 8, 1, 24. So 5, 31, 24 is really being 8, 1, 24. And that's what we got out again out of her name, and then adding sacrifice to Moloch. I mean, are you kidding me? Okay, and then I decided to make it even more specific and see if that works. And it did, amazingly. Marion Robinson ritualistically sacrificed to the god Moloch. It couldn't quite fit in there, but it is all there. Okay, so 8, we're not counting these zeros right now, which we could, because I could make it 8, 0, and then make this 1 over here, and then have a 0, but I'm just going to do this real quick. So 8, and then 7 plus 7 is 14, so we have 14 here. So 4 plus 1 plus 5 is 10. So remember, 8 and then 10, or 108, or 801 backwards, and then we have backwards here 5, and then 3 plus 3 is 6, plus 25 is 31. 531 and 801, or 810, or 108, or 801. It doesn't matter. So 531 and 801, all right here. And then we have the 0 for the year, and then one of these could be a 0 for the year, and the other one for the 801, because sometimes they show the 801 as 01 being a digit for the first. Anyway, it's weird, but it's all there. Okay, so like I showed you, 8124 is hiding 812, or sorry, 812024 is hiding 81224. Just get rid of the 0, and then how this becomes, this number that's in the year becomes the number in the day. Okay, it's crazy. So we'll show you that. Okay, so this symbolizes, like I said, Satan falling from heaven and going into the body, incarnating the body, the dead body at that time of CQBO, the 44th Pres. Okay, and then he becomes the Antichrist on that day. Okay, so this is symbolized with that. Remember that number. This number came from her information, Marion L. Robinson. So, and I said Marion Robinson, but her middle name is Lois. Okay, and she's gone by in the past by Marion L. Robinson, legally and stuff. Okay, I found. Okay, Marion L. Robinson. This is so crazy how this works. I cannot explain how this works, but I can give you some examples. Let me give you one example. So, and I'm gonna before I preface what this is, what I mean. So there, we have the Secretary of State named Antony Blinken. Okay, just a scumbucket, like all the other scumbuckets, of course. And he's got a predictive programming name, but it's not. It's very subtle, and it's more subtle because when you look at him on X, or formerly Twitter, okay, it goes by A. Blinken. So his name is Antony Blinken, but on Twitter, I'm gonna say it again. He formerly Twitter is X. He goes by A. Blinken. A. Blinken. Okay, I'm sorry. And so that is a clue. That is, people aren't picking up on that. I think most people are not picking up on that. That's a clue he's going to be killed. Okay, because Abraham Lincoln was shot. I'm telling you, that's just how this stuff works. So he's going to be killed, and he's probably, and I have to do it again on him to see what I think when it might happen, because it'll tell me from his death and in August, what it's pointing to in August, what days and everything. Now that I know it's August and everything, it's crazy. So again, this seems to be showing that, and I don't have one that's not working yet with August. Okay, it's just not, everything's working phenomenally. There's all these different things I'm showing you. Okay, so that's an example of that. Another example is, well, I don't know if I should get into this right now because it's a lot of explanation. Anyway, Harrison Ford is an actor. Okay, he has been into politics a little bit, but not too much for a long time. And he was around with Ford. Okay, and then Harrison Ford, who took over for Nixon. Oh my gosh, am I saying this right? No, not. Wow, I'm trying to remember if I'm saying this right. Okay, anyway, President Ford talked about the first woman that would be president, and she said that she'd be president because she was a vice president, and that other president was removed or died or whatever. And so Harrison Ford is linked to Ford in a few different ways, but his name is Harris Ford. Harris from Ford. So Harris talked about Ford. Ford talked about Harris. Harris about Ford. His name is Harrison Ford. Man, that's probably not the very best example. It's kind of complicated. But anyway, that's about Harris being Biden being removed, then Harrison put in, and it's in his name here because it was prophesied in a sense, and it's kind of prophecy, but not really by Ford. He said that this would happen this way, that a female would be the vice president and then she'd become president, and that's what's going to happen with Harris. Anyway, I kind of butchered that a little bit, but anyway, so hiding in this is a homonym of what's going on this day. So we have lightning falling from heaven, Satan cast out, and we have faithful going up, and the faithful going up are Marion L's Robin's son. This is crazy. Okay, Marion is marrying. Marion, you're marrying. L is God, L. Okay, for example, El Shaddai. God, the word God is El. El is God. I mean, for example, like in Stranger Things, 11 is called El for short. She has God-like powers, so it's a little like secret little thing. She's called El because El is God, is a name of God, is one of the name, a way of saying God. And then Robin's son. So Jesus is robbing the faithful from the earth. It says he would come like a thief in the night. He's robbing us from the earth. So like a thief, okay? So the faithful are going up and the enemy's coming down, and we are Marion L. Robin's son. L's Robin's son. Marion L. Robin's son is marrying L's Robin's son. I'm just telling you, Lord, like I had this thing. I was like, what? That name is something about Marion, and I've heard there's something Robin and robbing, and I was like, what? And then the Lord just had this thorn in my mind. I was like, what the heck is something? And he was showing me something. I was like, what? And then as I kind of said it kind of slowly, and then when I was like, oh my gosh, he was like, no, see, it says Marion L. Robin's son. See, they do this all kinds of ways that we don't see in people's names and all that. Like I said, Abe Lincoln, and there's all kinds I could get into, but I just don't want to take the time. Just want to give you a little bit of an example of that, and I probably shouldn't have brought up the whole thing. It's a lot more involved with the Harrison Ford thing, but it has to do with Ford talking about Harris kind of subtly in this thing about the vice president coming, female being the vice president, becoming a president. Anyway, I don't know if that makes sense. Anyway, boom. Okay, now, well, well, he's going to jail. Going to jail. Anyway, so he's definitely going to jail. That's going to be my pretty much, I'm going to say Trumple, in a sense, is definitely going to jail, question mark. Okay, that's been big, huge evidence I have. Massive. Some of the best I've ever had. Listen, he is John the Baptist, and I've said this for years. He's the Trojan horse for Christian conservatives. He's the fake John the Baptist. He's bringing in the false Messiah, the false Jesus, stinky B.O. Okay, kind of like a good cop, bad cop kind of thing. In that way. And of course, secretly and all this stuff, people don't know this about him. He is Donald John the Baptist Trump. Okay, and I've shared this. He was arrested. He is, he's about to be convicted, or he's convicted, and he's going to be sentenced to jail. Okay, I'm predicting, and I have a lot of evidence, he's going to go to jail, like John the Baptist did, and then beheaded. And I showed recently in my Telegram group, if you're signed up for Telegram, you'd see this, I showed the picture of, years ago, Kathy Griffin, a comedian, whatever, an actress, whatever, she was holding up in her hand, he had a knife in one hand and holding up the severed head of Donald Trump. It was all bloody and everything. And in fact, some places they blurred it out on the internet and stuff, because it's ridiculous. I mean, she's literally advocating beheading him or whatever, because that's what's going to happen. It's all predictive programming. He's going to be beheaded. More like he's going to be, the head of state is going to be removed, in a sense. He's going to be beheaded. He won't become president. He's running for president. He'll get out of jail. He'll look like he's running again. Everything's good. And then 7 days later, after 8-1, and this happened to line up with 8-1 perfectly. And this is all about that. Trump's numbers are, and I'm going to show this how it all lines up. It's crazy. 731 and 8-1, pre-day and the first day. And then, by the way, the judge that sentenced him, okay, has a daughter, and then she's all involved with this stuff. And then Herod had a daughter, was all involved in Trump and John the Baptist getting beheaded and all this stuff. It's all, and then the judge's name Juan, which is John. I mean, it's crazy. And then we have all these things, and then he'll be back. So where is he back from? And I've shared this, that he's the John in all these movies. He's John Majors. I'll be back, Bennett. I'll be waiting, John. I'll be here, John. So he's the John. He's John McClane, who comes back with a vengeance and all this kind of stuff. He's the hero. And by the way, all these, there's so many movies with John coming back as a hero and fighting and all this kind of stuff, or being put in a bad situation and coming out of it. That's all predictive programming. Who's the hero in the Bible? Well, people don't know this. A lot of people don't know this, but Herod means hero. So it's kind of the opposite. John the Baptist is kind of the hero. John is the hero, but Herod means hero. So again, we bring all this stuff together. It's opposites. It's hidden in all kinds of ways. Okay, and I'm going to show that. Okay, it's huge. It's massive. What I'm going to show is all this stuff. So it's going to be a big video, and I need to focus on it. And so I need help. I'm going to show you what I need help with. Anyway, so there he is with his deadpan look on his face. He's holding the Bible backwards, in a black Bible, and it's backwards. Okay, he's the false John the Baptist. He's the opposite John the Baptist. He's the opposite. It's backwards. He's got the deadpan look, like death. Okay, he's gonna be killed. Also when he met with the Pope, he had a deadpan look and everything too, and it's crazy. This whole thing, his whole family did. They all had this deadpan look, and that relates to his death that's coming as well, and all this stuff. So anyway, and then look, it's Saint John the Baptist, and they specifically call John, I believe more accurately, a saint is someone who's technically born again, okay? But the Catholic Church calls Saint John the Baptist a saint. Okay, they call him a saint. There's all kinds of saint, to be a saint, have sainthood and all this stuff. There's all kinds of things that people have been, whether they've been technically born again or whatever, not, I don't know. But it's a Catholic thing, and he is a Knights Templar. He's the highest Knights Templar there is. That's why he became president. He's all in this whole thing, and there's this massive soap opera of his trial and all this kind of stuff for so many years, and then the Russia thing and all this kind of, I mean, it's crazy, all this stuff. It's a big soap opera, and he's involved. And he knows. I've talked to a few different former Freemasons, and one was a 32nd degree Freemason and another one, and they both knew for years that he knows it, and they knew he was going to die, and it was going to be faked and all this stuff, and it's all in gematria and predictive programming and everything else. So anyway, and you'll see, and then so the judge ordered this, that he's going to be sentenced on 7/11. Man, Trumple is so many ways 7/11 is crazy. And he says, I was down there 7/11, down at the World Trade Center at 7/11. I mean, he was people thought it was a gaffe. He was really talking about 9/1 and then 1, and that happened in 2001 and all that. Because I try not to say that, all that. It wasn't a gaffe. He was talking about he was down there and he's going to be sentenced on 7/11. Okay, and I'm going to show that. I'm going to show all this. It's crazy. The evidence I have is some of the best I've ever had. You got to watch it. It's so crazy coming up. So anyway, awesome stuff I have. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to leave it at that right now and just say, man, please, I need your help. Anyone who hasn't given before, or if you have, please, I could use your help. If you are able to at all, I mean, I've had this weird decrease of donations, and this massive increase of, I haven't increased what we need. I haven't been spending extra anything. We still have one vehicle. We still have one house. We still have, we live very meagerly. I've lived better in my life for sure. I've had other jobs that have given me a great income at different times, and then the Lord had me get out of that and go into something and have serve Habitat for Humanity, and they build homes, and then so wasn't making anything at that time, and then doing this and doing that, and then I'd make money, refurbishing hotels and stuff, and then doing something else and then doing nothing. Being homeless. It's crazy stuff that I've did in my life to reach out to people and not only minister and bring people to the Lord and stuff, but also to heal and to change. And it's been this crazy up and down road. Just crazy. But now I'm at this weird crossroads now where things are really decreasing and we're really scraping. And then I had recently, there's a guy that a pastor I'm working with, I'm going to work with. He said, I need your help with doing some stuff, maybe even managing some stuff and all that. And then 3 days later, and there's no work right now. And I don't know what's going on. So anyway, I thought, hey, this is opening up for me. The Lord said, I would feel like it. I think it will eventually, but nothing's happening. So anyway, because I have to do something on the side, I think maybe. And I think the Lord may be showing that, but I don't want to take time from doing this stuff anyway, whatever. I need help. If you're able to give in any way, I need it badly. I mean, we're about a little over 2,000 short. It's 8 days until my rent, and actually 2,300 plus probably, because I have to pay. I have right now enough to maybe pay for some more food and stuff for the next week and a half, and gas and things like that that I'll need, and I'll know all that because I handle all the stuff for my family and stuff. And that's what I have right now. A few hundred in my account. It's ridiculous. I mean, when I think about it, and it's ridiculous. I have to actually ask for help. In my mind, but that's me. But the Lord's like, I want you to do this, and it keeps me humble. It really does. A lot of this stuff that He puts me through keeps me humble. I can't have any arrogance. It's just not possible because I'm beaten down. It seems like so much, in a good way, I guess. He gives me a great, amazing stuff too, and everything. But it's just the way it is. I don't know. Anyway, I'm rambling a little bit. Sorry, but I'm explaining some things. So, yeah, I mean, I'm way behind right now, and I need a miracle. In fact, I started fasting 4 days ago, and I'm not going to break the fast until I've been wanting to do it for a long time, and I need it for health reasons and stuff, to sleep better and stuff too. But for me, it was like getting really close to Jesus, and then just having some breakthroughs of what's going on, what's happening here, and are we really there? And I mean, a lot of things. It's multifaceted. It's health. It's getting closer to the Lord, and it's just understanding some of this stuff. So I'm not going to stop for a while. I'm not going to stop until I really get some answers, and I'm not going to eat anything. It's a fast with no food whatsoever, and I'm not going to eat anything until I get resolutions to this stuff and what's going on, and I just want to be even closer and closer and closer and closer to Him. And I've gotten closer and stuff, but I'm like, why don't I understand this? Why don't I understand this? Why am I still dealing with sleeping problems at times? And I got to sleep sitting up, and I mean, all this different stuff. And why haven't this been, and all this? I want to understand, and I want to be closer. And if I have to go through stuff for a while, fine, whatever. But I want to be at peace about what I'm dealing with. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, so the link into the description, links in the description box for PayPal and even Zelle-Pay. Zelle-Pay doesn't cost anything to set up or to send money or anything like that. It's bank-to-bank transfer or whatever. It's really better than PayPal in a lot of ways. So if you're able to do that, or have a P.O. box, or able to send anything that way, please, I beg you. I just beg you. If you're able to, or moved at all, just please, I beg you. We need help. I mean, I've never been so far behind and so close to rent in a long time. I mean, usually it would build up, and like, okay, a few days. I'm used to being at the very end. Okay, but having so much until the very end, it's weird. And then, like I said, this timing of things really increasing, and then things or people not giving as much and all that. And then one thing that's really bothering me as well is one of my biggest contributors and just supporters in general, this amazing man and his family. I'm sorry, I'm just a little emotional about it right now. He had a stroke recently, and I don't even know. He's the kind of guy. I can't even talk without talking. He's the kind of guy that wouldn't want me to say anything like this. Okay, and then he just thinks I'm really moved by the Lord and everything, and he supports me. He's one of my biggest supporters, and just cheers me on and sends me texts and stuff like that. And I recently got a text from him, and because I was like, I haven't heard from him for a while, and like, it normally responds to me right away, and he's like, I'm just dealing with, I'm in a hospital and stuff like that, and it's just, I'm sorry, I'm off right now, sorry. And he just, anyway, I'm concerned about him, and he's not letting me know a lot about what's going on. So, brother, I'm just gonna say G. I'm gonna say G. I appreciate you so much, and I ask everyone to pray for him. If you, please, God, Lord Jesus, please have people pray for him. Please have people pray for him. He's in the line of fire, and I just ask you to pray. He's just such a warrior, and he's just been there for me, and for years. And I'm beside myself with what he's going through right now, what his family's gone through and stuff, and it's amazing. And he still fights. He still supports me and stuff. And I'm concerned. So anyway, that's on my heart and stuff too. So if you would pray for him, please. You think about it, pray for him and his family. I'll just call him G for now. God knows who he is. Anyway, so I'll just leave it at that. So yeah, hopefully this blessed you. Hopefully you got something out of this. This system's really working amazing. I'm very hopeful about August. It's crazy. And wait till you see the stuff with the Trump thing. I mean, I'm blown away. So I'll leave it at that. And oh man, what a crazy life. So I'll leave it at that. This is Exalted Lamb 1. God bless. Over now.